This is the factory Honda S2000 rear differential. It has a torque biased limited slip differential inside, which has to sense load on 2 points when it's out of this rear end to lock, and once it's set up in this rear as it is now, it will need load on 3 points, both these axles and this here input flange, which connects to your drive shaft, your transmission, your engine. Once these have load on them, tires are touching the ground, this differential will lock, and you will have, essentially posi traction. Both tires get an equal amount of power until you go into a turning situation or put steering input in it, and then it will transfer from left to right the power that's necessary to go around a corner or whatever the case may be when you're driving the vehicle. If you do lift a wheel off the ground, this differential will open. The type of LSD that this is, being torque biased, it must sense load to lock. These came from Honda with straight 90 weight gear oil in them, non-synthetic. It's not necessary to run synthetic gear oil, although it is a good idea. It will run cooler, and the gear oil will last longer, and there will be less wear. But you can run a standard gear oil. This here is Valvoline 85140. This is a standard gear oil, non-synthetic, and it's perfectly good to use. 75140 synthetic is the recommended. If you do change the LSD in this and use like a clutch type LSD or some other type of aftermarket limited slip, it may at that point require synthetic gear oil or an additive of some sort. But as it is, as a factory rear end, it is not necessary to run a synthetic gear oil. And that's shop key to go. All right, good morning. Here we are on a bench today. We got an AP1 rear end, high mileage, broken. This time we have a good LSD, so that's nice to see. But ring and pinion gear locked up tight as a tick. So got to get this thing fixed up, do our magic to it. Just finished up this prop shaft for a Honda S2000. Yes, I do those too. Came out super nice. Joints are all smooth, feel good. So it's ready to go. All right, let's get started. All right, we're opened up here. And there you go. Broken pinion. At least the LSD is good, like I was saying. Ring gear is fine, there's nothing wrong with it, never really is, other than a couple of marks or chips on it. It's always the pinion. So we'll get this thing blown apart and restored and back on the road. Getting started on the cover here. Knocking off this dust. You see where I'm starting here. And then it'll go through a second and a third process. And you'll see the end result when I'm finished. And here we go, our restored assembly. This case came out super nice, one of the nicest really. All the hardware, assembly marks, input flange, aluminum rear cover, that name. Stub axle flanges, super nice. Going to be a real joy to put this thing back together tomorrow. And there is the PuddyMod solid steel sleeve, the glue that keeps this thing together. Let's get rocking. Well, here we are back again. I'm pulling this LSD apart. As you know, this rear end had been blown, so shrapnel gets everywhere, including inside this unit. So this has to be taken apart and cleaned. Just to give you guys an idea of what's inside one of these things, these are non-serviceable LSDs. This limited slip is sold as a unit. When it was sold, it's no longer available. It's obsolete part. But when it was sold as a unit. So you couldn't, buy a replacement disc or anything for it, a sun gear or a planetary gear or anything of that nature. That had to be, sold as this whole thing. So if you break this, which it's fairly easy to break one, if you don't do the right thing and make a mistake, and it happens, you can't do anything with them, unfortunately. Over the years, I have been able to repair these, and basically collecting parts from old units, good stuff, and then we have some machining techniques here in the shop that we can repair one. And it's not easy to do, but when it's done, it works just as good, if not better, than when it was brand new. And but here you go. These discs go in inside this unit. They configure kind of like you have these two larger ones here. They'll go in between these two sun gears like this. So you'll have that set up like that. And then from there, you have these planetary gears, and they go in, like that. So you got an idea. And these gears stick in between each of these, planetary gears. So you got up and down, just like that set up right there. Okay. A lot of times when you're draining the differential fluid in this rear end, I've seen many posts over the years, people posting up, what is this piece of metal? People say, oh, you blew the rear. And it's like one of these little ears that have break off of these friction plates, and you're panicking. Well, if you find one, it's not too bad. If you find two, again, not so bad. More on the outside ones. These go on the outer part of this thing. And but if you find anything more than two, then it's time we need to service that LSD. We're going to have to replace these discs. I do keep them in stock. I have them here. If I get a really nice unit that just is bound up and can't be repaired, I take the good stuff out of it, and then we recycle the steel at the end of the month, usually at the recycle center. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this thing apart, get it cleaned out, replace anything that might be damaged inside, and put it back together, and then carry on with the build. Okay, we're all cleaned up and cleaned out. Put back together. And put the cover back on this. And start getting it balanced out and set it up for the ring gear. All right, just finished this LSD repair. And I'll show you guys this. This is really pretty awesome stuff here. Watch that indicator. Here we go. There's virtually no run out here. Perfectly balanced. This is why factory stuff is just so good. Factory gears, this factory limited slip differential, it's just done right. All right, next we're going to check the bolt circle. And we got just about, maybe a little shy of a thousandths run out. Maybe, we'll just call it a thousandths. When I get that ring gear on, I can make it perfect. I have plenty of room to work with here. Excellent. Perfection. All right, getting the sleeve set up. See what we got. Perfection. All right, there we go. Right on the money. Perfect backlash. Perfect balance. Perfect pattern. All buttoned up and ready. Get ready to set the cover next. Bearing cap hardware, everything's secured. This thing came out super nice. This is the last differential of, well, maybe not of the year, but before Christmas anyway. I've got to get a couple axles out the door this week, but this is the last rear end before Christmas. Everything looks really nice. Let's get that cover on. Honda Bond, American made, good stuff. Every time I hear this song, I think of Philly in the commercial. Every time it's beginning to look a lot like gimbals. Yeah, that's it. Commercial came on every year at Christmas time. I just finished off rebuilding this axle here. It's a left driver's side axle for Honda S2000. New axle, nut from Honda. New boot kits. PuddyModRacing on the inside. This video was posted up about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, but it got pulled for a copyright claim. Usually when that happens, about 2 months later, they put the video back up, but by that time it's so far down the line that you guys will never see this video. So I went ahead and I removed the video myself off of YouTube, and I'm going to try to now put the video back up by using the default music that they give you with the editing app, and that's just going to be playing over the background of this video. And I'm sorry, hopefully it's not too annoying, and hopefully they will not pull the video down again for a copyright claim, because I'm really not trying to use anybody's music without permission or anything like that. It's really just the radio in the shop playing in the background here, and you know, you don't even think about the radio, and next thing you know, it's Christmas time, you're playing Christmas music, and then things happen. So sorry to YouTube, I really didn't mean to do anything like that. And like I said, I went ahead and I used the editing app with the default permissible, or I guess that's how you say it, music that you're allowed to use, and I just played it over top of this stuff so you guys could still get the content. It just has this overdubbed music from the app on it. Hopefully it's not too terribly annoying. You can get through the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and if you guys have any ideas of how I can actually post these videos, if I do forget that radio's on, or not thinking about the radio being on, I really don't want to get into trouble. I don't know if there's some kind of disclaimer, or if there is some type of way of getting permission to let the radio play. But anyway, from now on, I'm probably just going to leave the radio off, and it'll just be kind of quiet in the shop, and we'll just get through the videos that way. Well, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. Enjoy your guys' time off that do get time off, and hopefully I'll get another video up here shortly, maybe even with the Camaro. That's what I kind of like to do, and see you soon.